You don't need some animal primate man to come look at you and say, is she pregnant? Is she not pregnant? Hi, I'm Healthy Emmie and I'm a nutritionist. If you came to me and said that you were struggling with bloating, here are some of the questions that we would discuss together to get to the root cause of what's causing the bloating. Let's do it. Question number 1, are you stressing about your bloating? Let me explain why it is that women are so obsessed with bloating. In particular, it's the ladies that are freaking out about the bloating. I'm not saying that men don't, but the majority of people that watch this channel are women, and the majority of people that struggle with bloating, complain about their bloating, are women. Let's find out why. The reason for this is actually primal, and it's really fascinating. So when a male looks at a female, he subconsciously and automatically, without thinking, calculates the ratio from her stomach to her hips to make sure that she is not pregnant. Because the one desire of males is to spread their seed to others. So when he looks at a woman, he thinks, can I spread my seed to her? And if the waist is bigger than the hips, that signals to the brain subconsciously that she is already pregnant and he cannot spread his seed to her. When the waist is smaller than the hips, then the male says, ooh, I like her. I could spread my seed to her. For this reason, we have the primal desire to have a waist that is smaller than our hips. So it's not vanity if you feel like, why am I so obsessed with what my stomach looks like? Part of it is truly primal. So that's why you're obsessed with what your stomach looks like. But listen, we don't live in the Stone Ages anymore. You don't need some animal primate man to come look at you and say, is she pregnant? Is she not pregnant? So we can rest about that a little bit. Understanding why it is that you feel so obsessed with it is helpful though. And here's the big problem. Stressing about the bloating is only going to make it 1,000,000 times worse. The gut is the second brain. You can't get away with stressing about something and not having the stomach react to it. It just can't be done. So if you're obsessing over the bloating, where attention goes, energy flows. It is only going to make the bloating worse. By watching this video today, you're showing me that you're willing to commit to figuring this out. So remove the emotion from it and look at this just as a problem that you're going to solve. Nothing emotional, nothing that you're tied to, just something that you got to check off your list and you're not stressed about. Question number 2 that I would ask you is, are you eating a whole food plant-based diet? If you're not, get on it, honey. Because a whole food plant-based diet has fiber in it. Fiber is going to create bulk in the diet, and it's going to move things along in the stomach, if you know what I mean. It's going to make for some great poops. If I'm just going to say it, that's what we're looking at here. You have to make sure that you have adequate fiber in the diet. And no, you don't have to go reading nutrition levels and labels and finding out what foods have fiber in it and what foods don't. All you have to know is that whole plant foods have fiber, animal products do not. Period. End of story. The majority of your grocery shopping needs to be done, not should be done, needs to be done, must be done in the produce aisle if you are struggling with bloating. We need to have fiber in your diet to move everything along. The next question I would ask you is, if you are already eating a whole food plant-based diet, how long have you been doing this for? Because you have to let your gut adjust to the whole food plant-based diet if you're brand new to it. All of this fiber, all of this water, although it is fantastic, if your gut isn't used to it, it's going to say, whoa, we've been out of commission for a bit here. You know, we haven't been working in a while, so we got to get back to it. We're feeling a little bit sore. It would be like if you hit the gym after not going to the gym for a decade and your muscles are like, whoa, we're tired. Give us a minute to recover. That's how your stomach feels if you're just getting used to whole food plant-based. So please don't go on a whole food plant-based diet and then say, I'm bloated, this doesn't work, if you haven't given your gut ample time to adjust. The next question I'm going to ask you is, how long are you going in between your meals? I find that my friends that like to intermittent fast are also the ones that are struggling with bloating, because here's what's happening. You're not eating for long periods of time, and then by the time you do eat, because your window opens, you have to get all your calories in. You end up eating massive quantities of food, and the stomach is just ginormous because it's got to fit this huge volume of food in it. It's a pretty simple explanation. You'd be better off taking all of that food that you're eating in that short window and sprinkling it throughout the day so that you don't just have so much food in your stomach at once. Not to mention, sprinkling that food throughout the day can turn the digestive system on and get things moving and get bowels emptying as well. So you could be having a bowel movement multiple times a day, as opposed to having it all sit in your stomach and cause you to bloat. The next question I would ask you is, how long does it take you to eat a meal? If you are scarfing down your food, that is going to cause bloating no matter how clean your diet is and how long you've been eating that way. If you're swallowing all of this air while you're eating because you're just scarfing it down so quickly, that's going to get trapped in the stomach. And additionally, if you're eating super quickly, your saliva doesn't have enough time to break down the food. And so by the time it gets to your stomach is having to do work that it wasn't designed to do. Your saliva is designed to do a lot of the work in helping you digest food. And if the food doesn't spend enough time in your mouth because you're eating it so quickly, your stomach will be on overdrive and you'll end up getting bloated. The next question I would ask you is, are you eating your food raw or are you eating it cooked? I also tend to find that my friends that struggle with bloating that are already on a whole food plant-based diet are eating massive quantities of raw vegetables. Now, if you're looking to lose weight, this is fantastic. However, if you're in weight maintenance and you're not looking to lose any more weight, then eating huge quantities of raw vegetables can be just a little bit too much on the system, and you don't have to do that. You'd be better off eating your food cooked so that it's more easily digestible. I would go for the boiled, steamed, baked veggies as opposed to the raw veggies if you find that you're struggling with bloating. It's just too high in water and the fiber isn't broken down at all, so it's a lot of work on the stomach. Then the last question I would ask you is, are you being a little bit too critical on yourself? After meals, we are supposed to have a stomach that expands. The stomach is an elastic organ. It's designed to expand so that you can properly digest food. So if your stomach has expanded after a meal, that's normal. It's supposed to expand and then it will go down. You're likely being too tough on yourself and honestly having unrealistic expectations about how the stomach works as an organ. It's supposed to expand. I get an expanded stomach after meals as well. I've actually done a video where I show you what my stomach looks like after I eat to show you that it's totally normal. If you're still struggling with bloating and you would like some personalized guidance, please send in an application to work with me so that we can figure this thing out. I love to solve problems, so bring me a problem. I'll help you solve it. If you made it to this point in the video, I would love if you could comment a part of your body that you're very grateful for. I am so grateful for my legs because they have allowed me to run all over tons of countries in this world. What are you grateful for? Are you grateful for your stomach that has delivered a child? Are you grateful for your eyes that have seen so many places in the world? Or your nose that can smell what fall candles smell like? Let me know. I love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next video.